Hi everybody, Ness Kim here. Thanks for joining again. Today I'm talking about what colours mean what essences according to Our Fashion Garden, and also Kitchener kind of brings that into his analysis as well. Is this something that is the absolute truth for you? Well, test it out for yourself and see. I'm in the most beautiful part of Sydney today. I'll put some footage in as well because that's part of my essences. Sorry, Australian flies. That's a big problem in Australia. I'm a very big one for getting knowledge to fast track understanding about something where people have spent a lot of time in gaining knowledge about it. But then very importantly for me, I must be able to test it out for myself to see if it's true for me. And so that's what I tend to do, and that's really what this channel is about, is all of these types of analysis, color analysis and style analysis that you get really comes down to the fact that you've got to then get out there and use it as a starting point. I don't believe it's the end result for most people, and that's why you see a lot of people complaining about it, and then you see a lot of stylists who are saying, well, we're using certain parameters in order to do your color analysis or style analysis. We might be using Kibi lines, we might be using, your skin color as the main aspect of your color analysis. And then we'll take a little bit into account of your hair and your eyes. And then you'll have other types of color analysis, people who will say, no, we mainly go on hair. Like color class, a lot of their color stems from hair. I personally agree that if you've got a more neutral skin, your color analysis is best done from your hair if your hair is a very big feature. But it also shows you that you can actually change your color hair and you will change your colors. And I do that all the time. You've seen me in blonde. This is my caramel phase at the moment, but more than likely I'll go back to brown again. So I alternate and my colors change every time I do. I want to just talk to you about the color psychology and also the vibes that come from those colors and how I went about and did that for myself by putting my face into those colors that are supposed to give off a certain vibe. Dramatic is something that's giving off a very striking vibration. It's black, white and gray. They're strong colors. And so if you really like those colors and you want to wear them a lot, chances are you're going to have a dramatic essence. But that's not the only test, because there's so many other tests to this. I got all the colors from Our Fashion Garden, then I recreated those colors with a slight difference because I don't want to just copy their website. And I did it on colorwise.me. And so that then helps me to put my face into a set of 3 colors. So I'll go through in another video on how you can do that if you haven't already worked out how to do that. The other ones that we saw there were romantic, and traditionally or psychologically, the pinks and the reds and the maroons, they're very romantic. Of course, you'd have to still get your red, your pink and your maroon, because those are not necessarily your colors. They may be too soft or too dark for you. And so colorwise.me actually is very helpful in being able to adjust the colors and add more light into them, or add more dark, or add more gray into them, so that you're getting the right balance for your own self. As I said, I go mainly off my hair, but it still has to work in with my skin as well. So I find that a really helpful tool, and I'll do a video on that as time goes on. So the ingenue is so useful, and it's the most uncomfortable set of colors for me, though I do like white. I like crispness of white, and it makes things feel fresh to me. But the pale blue and pale pink I just could not wear, and it just doesn't even work in with my colorings. The Gamine, they're the bright colors, they're the fun colors, they make an impact. But I think what I feel most comfortable in are natural colors, colors that I see out in the landscape. And though out in the landscape, I'd still see some bright pinks and I'd see some magentas in the flowers. I'd see an orangey yellow sun. There'd be browns and beiges, and there'd even be some dots of white in the flowers and the clouds and so on. So, you know, there's no strict rule here, but it just gives you a sense of how you can use colour and how colour psychology is used to give off certain vibes. And it's not just even about the vibes you give off to others, but it's actually the vibe you're giving off to yourself. Now, I've been finding that I've been wearing a lot more classical styles, but I have found that I'm needing to wear more natural colours and also more natural fabrics and also natural styles. It's just the way my lifestyle's going. So you've seen me in a lot of button-ups and I'm feeling like they're so classic for me. Whilst I don't hate it, there's something that I'm drawn to in terms of the natural, which I want to explore more. So natural cotton, the natural fibres are so important, and the natural colours with a bit of brightness that you would see out there in the landscape. And that's what I'm exploring right now. It also works with my hair. So I guess when I change my hair, there's something also going on externally for me in terms of what I'm doing outside in my world. At the moment, I visit a lot of different places, going for walks with my dog, that are natural places that have water and trees and sunny places, even rainy places. It's all outdoors, and I spend a lot of time outdoors doing my herb garden. So that's all very much connected with my hair colour. You wouldn't think so, but for me it is. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this, and we'll keep going. Next time, which will hopefully be in maybe 3 to 5 days, I am going to do another video on the landscapes and what they mean in terms of your essences. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Take care. Bye.
This way, this way. Ha ha ha. Cutie.